Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is actually episode 9 of American Horror Story Freak Show. Oh boy, I don't know what to even say about this. But Dandy has completely lost his goddamn mind. Completely. He has taken... We open up. There's an Avon lady comes, back then in the 50s, the Avon lady. So the Avon lady comes in, she comes in, he takes and splits her goddamn head to the white meat with a candle holder. Cuts her head off, letting her blood drain, it's just draining onto the floor and into the tub and all of this. He's putting his blood in this tub. He takes her head and sews her head onto the shoulder of his mother, strings her up, and has her and is using her at the whole thing as a puppet, basically in the image of Dot and Bet, of the twins. And he's talking to him. He's like, mother and Avon lady, whose name I don't know, and he's just going on talking to him. His mother's got the nice little hole in her head where he'd have capped the shit out of her. Absolutely ridiculous. Then he's so bold as to he took his ass out to the camp. He's out at the camp sitting with Esmeralda. She charges $5 for a reading with her fake ass because she's a phony. So he's sitting with her and he's asking her all these different things and basically going on. He remembers that he was about to cut her before when he was playing the clown. She's saying to him that his voice sounds familiar, and he can't, remember. I guess he knows why his voice sounds familiar to her. And it just it was like a thing where it felt like he was stalking, and that at some point her number's going to be up. Just ridiculous. He's asking her different things. She's basically said, oh, no, your future's so bright, I don't see anything bad in your future, blah, 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 blah. So now he's convinced, because now remember, he's into this whole thing of bathing in blood and how you take the power that people have when you're bathing in blood. So I don't know if he actually is buying that she can actually see into the future. And he's saying, something about it's definitely the power she has is not to be wasted and this, that, and the other. He gives her $100. So I said he's going to fuck her up, later on. Anyway, he's getting ready to leave. Before that happens, we see Jimmy. And they're out there. Jimmy's just drunk. He just stays drunk all the time. He's out there with that damn fat ass Alma Wiggles. He's literally feeding her and talking to her and saying, yeah, I've never seen anybody who loves to eat so much. And he's getting there. He's feeding her. Then he tells her big fat ass, if you want it long and hard, you're going to have to make sure you stay nice and soft. And smacks her on that big old fat ass. She's turned to the side, sitting on a bed. She looks like a damn camp trailer, like a trailer. She's just as big. Anyway, he sees Dandy leaving Esmeralda's thing, and he's walking out. He runs out, makes a whole scene, says, you're that other clown. This, that, thing, and the other. And then he takes a swing at Dandy. He falls all out on the ground. Dandy said, oh my goodness, I got drunk with bad hygiene. So he leans over there and he tells him, and he says, you know what? He says, I'm going to ruin your life. You took the twins away from me and ruined my life, so I'm going to actually ruin your life. I would just kill you, but that's too easy. I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to take everything away from you and ruin your life. Because they're all still looking for the twins. They don't know where the twins are. But remember, Ethel took the twins and hid the twins. Okay? Well, shortly after that, we found that Stanley and Elsa have actually found the twins. They brought them back. They told them that the world is changing and everybody's against freaks. And they have actually taken and they killed Ethel. Which, that wasn't true. Said they cut her head off. Full of shit. But they talked them back into coming back to the camp and all that. So they're back, and now there's this whole thing going on about them getting this operation. They've talked them into getting the operation and saying, it's going to be great, this, that, the other. The good twin knows that when the operation was done, one of the other twins had died, so they had to actually deal with that whole thing. They ended up getting to a point where Bet basically said, you know what, I would give my life so that Dot could have a regular life. And of course, you would think that Dot would just jump at it, but it actually turned out to be the other way. Once she did that and said that, professed so much love for her sister, then they got on the same page. They don't want to be separated. Okay? And I'm going to get back to them shortly. So we're following Jimmy. Jimmy's still running around drunk. Jimmy's down doing his little gigolo gig. You know how he does the Tupperware parties, and he claws the ladies. Well, it wasn't working out because he was too goddamn drunk. He's in a drunken stupor. So he goes down there. That was all a mess. They threw him out. They told him it's time for him to go. Well, he leaves, and then somebody else comes back and knock on the door. It's Dandy, because he's basically stalking him. Dandy comes in and tells the ladies, oh, you know what, my car, because he's all done up. They think he's good looking. My car is all messed up, this, that, and the other. Well, after they invite him in, next thing you know, you see it's just literally a massacre. Dandy literally killed all those women. There were about 7 women at that party, 6 or 7 women at the party. He killed them all and took their blood and put them all in the pool. They had a pool in their house. He threw, outside their house, threw them all in them. It was an inside pool. Threw them inside the pool and went on about his business. And he's just crazy. Like, he is really just out there. Before Jimmy actually left that party, when the ladies were talking to him and everything, he had Ethel came to him in a vision to tell him that he was a mess and all of that, So I said, well, maybe that's going to stop some of this here drinking. But whatever, we didn't see too much of that. He still ended up being more drunk. Let me see, next. Desiree has actually been creeping around with Malcolm Jamal Warner. I can't think of what his name was and anything, but he was real sharp, and he's out there. Desiree's been creeping with him, as she told Esmeralda, if you tell anybody, I'm going to kill you with my bare hands, honey. So, that was that. Then they're walking through. Esmeralda and Desiree, they hear some pumping and grunting, honey. It's Jimmy screwing that motherfucking Alma Wiggles from the back. Now, remember, Jimmy been screwing Esmeralda. She done fell in love with Jimmy. So, they done caught that. They had a little argument, basically. Alma told her, so she said, he's doing nothing but using you. He doesn't care about you. He's using you. She told Alma, girl, she said, you are like a pillow or a sock. You're just he's using you to get a nut. And this, that, and the other. So Alma got a little pissed. He gonna say, no, I'm not. I'm not using her to get a nut. She's good. I like her. She tastes just like lemon pie. I said, that's just fat and ridiculous. So they, Esmeralda slapped his face, and Alma threatened her. She told her, if you put your hands on him again, I will crush you. This, that, thing, and the other. And then she told him, tell her, Jimmy, tell her you don't love her. Tell her that you just using her. And Jimmy stood there looking all stupid. I said, a mess. And he did. It was just a mess. It was, anyway. Hot mess. Next, we see Dandy and Regina. Regina shows up to the house. She's like, okay, I'm back. Where's my mother? Shit, Dandy went and told her everything. He told her, I killed my mother, and I killed your mother. And he said, come on. He took his robe off. He's walking around naked, telling her, come on, take a bath with me. He said, I found out about the power of taking a bath in blood, a blood bath. It's fabulous. This, that, and the other. And he told her, he's like, I'm not going to kill you, Regina. You're special. This, that thing. You're my only good special friend. Now get in the tub. And she's all scared and everything. And he's like, you know what? Just forget it. You're making me mad, whore. You know, he said, just get out before I change my mind and I kill your ass. So he ended up letting her leave. She left. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. She comes back with the cops. Okay? With a detective. It was one detective. She brings back a detective. The detective is sitting there and he's steadily going on. And he's like, oh no, Regina doesn't lie. Whatever Regina told you about me is true. And, you know, it just is what it is. And then he went to tell the cop about how he has all this money and what he's worth and what his family has and the acres of land and all the businesses and this, that, and the other. He told the cop, he said, listen, let me tell you something. He says, I want you to go and dig a hole. And he's like, sir, I want you to just shut up because you're really getting yourself into trouble. He's like, no, I'm not getting myself into trouble. I'm not going to do a day for anything that I've done. Trust me, I'm not. I'm not. He says, I want you to go dig a hole. He said, because I'll make you an offer that you can't refuse. I will give you $1 million in cash to dig a hole for her to go into. So he got the gun. You can see him like pulling when Danny was talking so crazy. He's going, look, you know, pulling his gun out, get his gun out. So he pulls the gun out and he puts it at Danny's face. He's like, do what you want to do, but I'm telling you, there's only one way that your future's going to be good. You kill me, that's the issue. You kill her like I told you to, and you'll walk out of here with $1 million in cash. And he said, I need you to dig a hole. Baby, the detective turned around, shot Regina dead square at her motherfucking forehead, baby. Bam! Her big ass went back. All you saw was the bottom of her shoes, baby. He shot her ass down and turned around and said, you got a shovel? I said, oh. So I was done. Like that whole thing just threw me off. I mean, I love the boldness of it. I love the way it was written and how, you know, because $1 million back in 1950, that's a shitload of money. I mean, it's a shitload of money now, but back in 1950, he never have to go to work again in life. But now, Patty's been killed, her daughter's killed, and there's going to be nobody to avenge it. There's not going to be anybody to... So that whole storyline of Patty and Regina is just done. I mean, that kind of bothered me, because, you know, I've been waiting on somebody to fuck Dandy up. But anyway, so that's done. She's dead as hell, and they're going to go put her ass in the hole in the back of the house, too, so, oh well. So I was like, oh, God, just a mess. Dandy's just really, he's just out of order. He's gone. He really is. Next, we actually see Stanley, and he blackmails Dale, the strong man. He ended up seducing him. He seen them walking off. He wrote he was going down to the bar, because he's still been looking for the little gigolo that got killed. He on his way to the bar. Stanley told him, that faggot ain't there no more. He's gone. So they get to arguing back and forth. Stanley's like, you know what? Here, let me offer you something, baby. And he pulls out his penis. And you remember, his penis is huge. So he's a freak. He looked up. He's like, oh, my God, you're a freak. So he's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, but I always come. I never come half-cocked. This, that, thing, the other. So he basically was down there going to say, you want to touch it? And he kept jacking it himself and carrying on. And Dale, nasty butt, fell right into the trap, baby. And let him seduce him and all that there. Dale goes back. And he decides that the guilt of everything is just getting to him too much. He goes and he's writing a suicide letter, baby. And Ma Petite was standing on the table and was like, sign it. You know, he signs it and all this. He goes up, he wrote it to Jimmy. Goes up, puts the noose around his neck, hangs himself. Oh, Ethel came in and Ethel was telling him, you're weak anyway. So get on up there, put that rope around your neck and get this shit over with. Goes up there and hangs himself. He's hanging from the ceiling. Goddamn, Desiree cut his ass down. So he falls out, and she's like just laying on top of him and saying, what is going on? I'm like, oh, you know, whatever. So they cut away from them. We go to the twins. The twins that got their shit together, got bold, they done went and found Jimmy, baby. And now they told Jimmy, Dot professed her love for Jimmy and all that. He knew that. And then told him, you can have us both, this, that, and the other. They stripped down, baby, and they was ready to get down. And that's when Bet was like, well, I can give you privacy. I can just close my eyes and go away for a while. But you'll have us, you'll have, that's what she was talking, 2 mouths and 2 hands and this, that thing, and the other. And the spirit of 2 women. Nobody could get that, but you'll have it all for you whenever you want it, this, that, and the other. So they went to kissing, him and everything, and then he backed up and told him no, he couldn't do it because he was in love with somebody else. So, he had broke their heart. He didn't tell them who, but it's Esmeralda. It's not that fat-ass motherfucking Alma Wiggles. But as he leaves out of the tent that they were in, that's when the cops actually show up. They show up, and they grab him and put him in cuffs and all that. He's been blamed and framed for the Tupperware massacre. That damn dandy. He told him what he was going to do. He just didn't say exactly what. And that's where we actually broke out at. It was a real good episode. A lot of twists and turns. I was mad half the time with what was going on. Somebody needs to fuck up Dandy. I've had enough of him. And he is just way too much. Way too much. But I love this episode, guys. It was good. So you thumbs up or thumbs down. You guys know how that works. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you thought or if I left anything out. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.